Hello everyone. Welcome to Skills Build Training YouTube channel. My name is Sanya and this channel is all about showing you how to become an IT pro fast. So in today's video we will discuss about Microsoft Visio tutorial for beginners. So let's get started. Microsoft Visio is a diagramming tool to create simple as well as complex diagrams and vector graphics. It enables you to create detailed organization charts, floor plans, and pivot diagrams according to your business needs. It comes with inbuilt templates, which helps you virtually create diagrams of any complexity like shape-based artwork or complex drawing. Now, if I sum up it into simple words, then Visio lets you transform complicated text and tables that are hard to understand into visual diagrams that communicate information at a glance. There are many kinds of Visio diagrams, including organization charts, network diagrams, workflows, and home or office plans. Getting started with Visio can be summarized into 3 basic steps: using a template, arranging and connecting shapes, and modifying shapes with text. So now, I'm gonna tell you how you can access Visio. Well, the one way is using the link that I will give you in the description. All you need to do is simply click on that link and then you will be able to get Visio. Well, there is another way to get Visio in Teams. You need to open any of your favorite web browser and now search here for Microsoft Teams and then hit enter. Now here you are able to see the official link. Click on it. Now to get Visio using Teams, first you need to create a team. So click on Teams and here you can see the option join or create team. Click on it and here create team. Here you need to give the name of the team. So the name is Visio team, and then here you need to give a description so people know that what the team is all about. So let me quickly write the description here. Now here you can select either you want to create a private team or a public team. So create a public team and then click on next. And here you can see creating the team. Now you can add members to this Visio team. So for now, let's skip it, but you can add as many members as you want. And now here you can see 3 different options: general, posts, files, and here is the plus sign. So click on this plus sign and now here you will be able to turn your favorite applications and files into tabs. So here you have different applications. You can use any of them using Teams. So here you can see here is Visio. You can use Visio from here using Teams. Keep your Teams Visio drawings handy. So this is another way. Let's close it and close it as well. Now by simply clicking on the link given below in the description, you will see this page. Now here you can see work visually from anywhere at any time. If you scroll down this page, you will be able to see that Visio is the ultimate tool for drawing and diagramming. Now here you need to click on see plans and pricing. Once you will click on it, you will be able to see the comparison page between the Visio plan, the one that is Visio Plan 1 and the second is Visio Plan 2. These are the subscription plans. Now what's the difference between the Visio Plan 1 and the Visio Plan 2? The one thing that is more prominent here is the price difference. It is $5 per month and it is $15 per month, which is a bit more expensive. Now why is there a difference between these prices, and what if you don't want to buy it and purchase it? How you can use it for free? So if I talk about the Visio Plan 1, then with Visio Plan 1, you can work anywhere, anytime. You can get the web version of Visio, and in this plan, desktop version is not included, and it includes almost 2 GB of OneDrive for business cloud storage. And now if I talk about some other options, then you can use it for collaboration and sharing, but you can't use it for intelligent diagramming. You can't use user experience and features. You will not have unlimited templates, stencils, and shapes. You will not be able to access it and it will not be secure, and standard support will not be available here. And now if I talk about the Visio Plan 2, then here in this plan you can enjoy all the features of Visio Plan 1, as well as you have some additional features like you will be able to integrate it with Microsoft 365. You will be able to collaborate on diagrams with your choice of the web version of the Visio or the always up-to-date Visio desktop application. So you will be able to use the web version as well as the desktop application. And it also includes 2 GB of OneDrive for business cloud storage. Here you can see you will be able to get the intelligent diagramming, user experience and features, different templates and stencils, shapes, and you will be able to access it anytime, anywhere, and standard ports will be available for you. You will be able to connect diagrams to data, and you can get the desktop version of this application as well. So now, what if you want to try it for free? So here you can see buy now or try free for 30 days. Same here for Visio Plan 2. So click on try free for 30 days. Now once when you will click on try free for 30 days, then you will be able to download it and you can use it for 30 days. Now once you will download it, you will see a main page like this where you have different options. Now click on new, and here you can see you will be able to see different templates. Now these are the featured templates, and you can also see the categories. You can see the templates related to business, engineering, flowcharts, general, maps and floor plans, networks, schedule, software and database, and new from existing. So you can use them, and here you can see you can search for any template. Now if I talk about the steps to plan and draw a basic Visio chart, then the first step is where you need to decide what you are trying to accomplish and gather the suitable detailed requirements to draw your diagram or chart. Second step is that you need to determine which chart type best suited to illustrate the information you want to convey, and then you can create a flowchart. And the third and final step is you need to select and open the template according to your chart type. Well, there are different templates, but I'll go with the blank drawing. So I will show you how you can create your own flow diagrams or charts. So click on it and then click on create. You can see the basic shapes here on the left side, and here you can see the canvas where you can draw any chart, and here you have different options. Well, I'll explain them one by one. Now first talk about important components of Visio. Now in this Visio for Beginners tutorial video, I'll tell you about the important components of Microsoft Visio. Now let's talk about the Quick Access toolbar. This is the customized Quick Access toolbar, and it allows you to add often used commands so that you can easily access it as when needed. You can add this command to toolbar. You have different other options, and here you can see the more commands as well. Now if I talk about this ribbon, in which I can see the file, home, insert, design, data, process, review and view, then this ribbon is basically a panel which contains functional groupings of buttons and drop-down lists organized by tabs. These groups of tabs which affect the different functionalities of Visio. So the ribbon is designed to find commands that you need to complete a task. It includes designing pages, inserting objects onto pages, or link data with shapes. Now when you will click on File, then you will see the File tab provides a centralized location which is called the Backstage view. It allows you to perform various Visio file management tasks like creating, closing, sharing, saving, printing, converting to PDF, and emailing. In Visio, the Backstage view is very important. It allows you to view document properties, removing personal information, reduce the file size by eliminating unused item. You can check the compatibility and set publish options and check data connections. Now if I talk about all these options, then this back option will allow you to go back to working drawing area. This info will allow you to remove personal information, restrict permissions, reduce file size. It also helps you to check compatibility with earlier versions of Visio. Now if I talk about new, then it will allow you to create an original drawing from a blank drawing area or using a pre-formatted template. Now from open, you can open a drawing. From save, you can save that drawing. And from save as, it allows you to resave as a saved drawing as a different file name or file type. And now if I talk about print, it allows you to view and print the final diagram. You can use the share option to share the diagrams with others. You can also export your diagrams to PDF, XPS, etc. And here you can see account. It allows you to manage your profile, and in option, it allows you to make proofing and language related changes. So go back. Now here let's talk about the home tab. Well, this is a default tab in Visio. It allows you to change the font size, color, set alignment of text, find any text, fill color in shape. You can use cut, copy and paste shape as well as text. Now if I talk about the insert tab, then the insert tab allows you to insert different illustrations that you can see here, like diagram parts, links and text. Now if I talk about the design tab, then the design tab allows you to make changes in the background, page setup, borders, color schemes, layout of your drawing. Now talk about the data tab. Well, using the data tab, you can link your database to shapes, create data graphics, and insert horizontal and vertical legend, which I will show you how you can do this. So now if I talk about the process tab, you can use process tab to import and export workflow and link as an existing sub-process with a shape in a larger process. Now let's talk about the review tab. Well, this tab offers you to add comments, and you can also check spellings from here. Now let's talk about the view tab. Well, it allows you to personalize your view of the drawing screen. So for that, various tools are given to add rulers, grid lines, guides, and page breaks. Well, Visio also provides a zoom button to the magnifying drawing area. Now, let's talk about how to use Microsoft Visio. Now, in this tutorial, I will show you how you can use it. Now, here you can see shapes. The first thing that I will tell you is what the flowchart shapes represent. When you open the basic flowchart template, the basic flowchart shape stencils open too. Each shape on the stencils represents a different kind of step in a process. However, there is no standard universal meaning for the shapes. Any shape can carry whatever meaning is agreed on by the people who will create and read the flowcharts. Most flowcharts tend to use only 3 or 4 of the shapes unless there is a clear business reason to use more. So, Visio shapes have names that suggest their most common uses. Now if I talk about some of the most common shapes, then click on more shapes, and here you can see different shapes related to business, engineering, flowchart, general, maps and floors, network, schedule, software and database, and Visio extras. Now click on general, and from here click on basic shapes. These are the few basic shapes that we can use while creating flowcharts. Now if I talk about the shapes that we use frequently, then go to flowchart, and from here go to basic flowchart shapes. So here you can see these are the shapes that we use frequently while creating flowcharts. This is the start and end shape. You can use this shape for the first and last step of your process. Now coming towards the process, this shape represents a typical step in your process. Well, this is the most frequently used shape in almost every process. Now if I talk about the decision shape, then this shape indicates a point where the outcome of the decision dictates the next step. There can be multiple outcomes, but often there are just 2, either yes or no. Let's talk about the sub-process shape. You can use this shape for a set of steps that combine to create a sub-process that is defined elsewhere, often on another page of the same document. This is useful if the diagram is very long and complex. Talk about the document shape then. This shape represents a step that results in a document. The data shape represents the information is coming into the process from outside or leaving the process. This shape can also be used to represent materials and is sometimes called an input-output shape. Scroll down a bit, and here you can see on-page reference. Well, this small circle indicates that the next step is somewhere else on the drawing. This is particularly useful for large flowcharts where you would otherwise have to use a long connector, which can be hard to follow. and here is off-page reference. When you drop this shape onto your drawing page, a dialog box opens where you can create a set of hyperlinks between two pages of a flowchart or between a sub-process shape and a separate flowchart page that shows the steps in that sub-process. Now let's create a single flowchart in which a person is basically first enter his login ID, then he will enter his password. Now the login ID will be correct, then the process will further proceed, otherwise you will stop that process. It is a very simple and basic flowchart in order to show you how you can use these shapes and how you can create a flow. So for that, go to more shapes and from here go to Visio extras, and here you have different options. You need to select annotations, callouts and connectors, as we are going to use them in our flowchart. Because in order to connect the shapes, we will use connectors and I will show you how you can use them. So in order to create a process, first go to basic flowchart shape and from here, first I'll select this start and process shape. So simply select it and drag it here. You can increase and decrease the size of it. Now if you want to write inside this shape, you need to go to insert and from here go to text box and here you can write start. Now select it, bold it and change the font size. Now here we will create a process. So in order to connect it with process, we need to use a connector. So go to connectors, select it and here you can see different connectors. Now I need to use a connector with whom I can connect a process. So here you can see different connectors: dynamic connector, line arc connector, curve connector, double tree square, multi-tree square, side to side 1, side to side 2, sides, bottom to top 2. All of these have different functionalities and you can use them and you can see them. You can simply explore them in order to see how they work. Well, here I can see hollow connect 1. So I'm going to use it. Simply select it and then drag it here. You can use all the shapes and connector. All you need to do is simply drag a connector or a shape and drop it on this drawing sheet. Now here I need to connect a process shape. So for that, go to basic shapes, basic flowchart shapes, and from here select a process shape, drag it and drop it here. You can increase and decrease the size of it. Now text box, and here you can have two options: horizontal text box and vertical text box. Well, select horizontal text box for this process and then right here enter login ID, select this text, make it bold and change the font of it and then click. Now here again you need to connect a connector. So for that, go to connectors and again I will use hollow connect 1, select it, drag it and drop it here, and now go to basic flowchart shapes and from here select the process shape and drop it here, change its size, and here you can see the guide borders. These guide borders will help you to make a precise size, and here you can see this box is equal to the box that I have created above. This process is of the same size of the process that I have created above. So this guide bar will help you a lot while creating flowcharts. So now select the text box and right here enter password, select it, make it bold and change the font size and then click outside of the box. Now here you can see when the process will be started, now you need to enter the login ID. After enter the login ID, you need to enter the password. Now there are two conditions. If your password and login ID are correct, then you will be able to see the next screen, else the process will stop here and again you need to enter your login ID and password. So now here I need to connect a connector. I'm using hollow connect, and now here I need to create a decision shape. So in order to connect a decision shape, go to basic flowchart shape and from here select the decision shape and then resize it. Now click on text box. Now right here login done ? and then click outside of the box. Now what will happen? First, you will start the process. You will enter your login ID, you will enter your password. Now if the login is correct, then you will be able to go to the next screen, else the process will stop and you need to enter your password and login ID again. Once again, click on text box, select it, bold it and change its font size so it will be visible for you, and now click outside the box. Now again here you need to connect a connector, but this time I need to connect two connectors, as one will say yes if the login done, then it will go to the next screen, and one will say no. In case the login and ID is wrong, then you need to again write the ID and password. So for that, go to connectors, and from here I'll select two connectors. One I'll select Hollow Connect, and the second one I will select Hollow Connect. Now in case if the login ID and password are correct, then here you need to add a process shape. So go to basic flowchart shapes and select the process shape if the ID and password are correct. And if the ID and password are not correct, then go to start and end shape and connect it here. You can increase and decrease the size of it. Now select it and go to text box and write here stop, select it, bold it and change the font. Done. And now select this box, go to text box and write here next screen, or you can write welcome screen. Select it, make it bold and change the font and then hit enter. Now here you can see that is how you can create a simple flowchart. In the flowchart, first we use the end start shape in order to start the process, then we use the process shape by using a connector. Now this process shape, we write the first process, that was enter your login ID, then we connect it to next process, that was enter password. Now if the login ID and password are perfectly okay, then there is a condition shape. If they are fine, then you will go to the welcome screen, but if they are not okay, if they are not right, then you will not be able to go to the next screen and the process will be stopped here. So that is how you can actually create a simple flow chart using all these different shapes, annotations and callouts. You have different facilities. You can see if I go to more shapes. Now if you want to create a business related flowchart, you have different options. Brainstorming, and if you select brainstorming shapes, then here you will be able to see, first you will select the main topic, then you will have multiple topic and you will be able to select the dynamic connector in order to connect them. Now coming towards the engineering, if you are working for some electrical engineering related project, you can see here you have different sort of options, analog and digital logic, some assemblies, some fundamental items, you have different maps and charts, you have different qualifying and rotating samples and functions, you have different semiconductors related tubes, and in short you have all the things related to electrical engineering. Now if I talk about mechanical engineering, then here you can see you have fluid power related equipments, you have geometric dimensioning related equipments, and you have different welding samples. And about processing engineering, you have different equipments, pipelines and different instruments. Now coming towards the flowcharts that we have discussed. For flowcharts, the most commonly used shapes are basic flowchart shapes, but you also have some other shapes. You can use the 3D shapes as well. You can use the workflow shapes as well, and you have workflow steps as well. Now if I talk about the general, then in general you have very simple shapes that are basic shapes, blocks with perspective, decorative shapes and different graph and math shapes. And for maps and floor plans, you have different building plans and different maps. So you can use them in order to create different maps and different plans related to buildings and houses, different architect plans. And related to network, you have different network plans. So it is basically a diverse field, a diverse application in which you can use different kind of flow charts, different kind of shapes to create anything. You have schedule related shapes. Now if I select the schedule related shapes and if I select the calendar shape, then here you can see you have the shapes related to month, week, multiple weeks, you have thumbnail months, year, days, and appointments, and also note, clock, reminder, meetings, ideas, and many more. So you can use them in order to make your tasks easy. And I have already told you about stencils. So in short, in Microsoft Visio, you have a complete world of shapes. You can use them and you can create anything, whatever is in your mind or whatever is existing in this world. Now, if you want to save it, all you need to do is simply click on File, and from here click on Save As. You can save it wherever you want to, this PC, and here you have different options. You can either save it on desktop or documents. Well, I'm gonna save it on desktop, and here I can give it a name. When drawing one is perfectly fine for me, and then save it. Now go to File, and from here select New. Now here you have the option again. You can either use the blank drawing or you can use someone from here. So let's explore them a bit and let's see, are we able to get these. Now if coming towards the calendar, select it and then create. Now here you can see we have a blank sheet along with all the calendar related shapes. Now the one way is you can simply go to more shapes, and from here you can select any shape, and the second way is simply go to files and from here select new, and here you have different options. The one that we have explored using shapes, you can see them here. Like in more shapes we see the calendar, and that's what we have right now selected, and here there are some other examples as well. Here you can see the calendar that we were just exploring using more shapes. So from here you can actually use any shape or any template. So directly clicking on a template, you will be able to use those shapes. Now if I want to create a calendar, then you can select it and drop it. Now here you need to give some information. You can select a month. Let's suppose I want to create a calendar of October. Here you need to select a year. Then here you need to select begin week on. Now here you have different options. Usually you can see the week starts from Saturday or Sunday either, but that is completely up to you. As you are creating this calendar, you can start it with any day. So I'm going to start with Saturday. And here you need to select the language, in which language you want to create your calendar. You have different options. Well, go with English, Canada. Now here you have two options. You can shade weekends, or if you don't want to, then you don't need to. If I click on no, then here you can see your Saturday and Sunday will not be shaded, but I would like to click on yes, because the shaded area will make the weekends prominent, so I will be easily able to see the weekends. And here you can see the option show title or not. Yes, of course I want to show title, and then click on OK. Now here you can see the calendar. The weekends are shaded while the other days are simple. So it will make this task easy for you to get the dates of the weekends. Now here you can see the option week. Drag it and drop it here. Now here you need to give the start date and the end date. Select the calendar. Well, I want to create the calendar of October. Then select it and select this one. Now here you need to select the end date. Well, the end date will be for 7 days, 7/10/2021, and here you need to select the language. Now here you need to select the date format. Now here are a few different formats. You can use any of them. Well, I would prefer to use this format: year first, month next, and day at the last. Select it, and then from here you can see shade weekends, yes or no, yes, and show title, and then click on OK button. On Saturday it was September 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, and on Friday it is October 1st, and from here to onward you can see. So that is how you can actually create a calendar as well. You can also increase and decrease its size. Now if you simply right click on it, here you can see you have different options. You can either configure it, you can cut it, and you can format it. Now in order to cut it, simply select it all and then right click, and here you can see the option cut. That is how you can cut it. Now here click on more shapes, and from here you need to click on maps and floor plans. From here you can either create a building plan or a map. Well, let's suppose we want to create a building plan. Now here you have different options. You can create alarm and access control of a building. You can create a flowchart related to appliances, related to some area of the building, about furniture, about office accessories, office equipments, and parking and roads. Let's suppose I want to create a flowchart related to parking and roads. So click on it, and now here you can see you have different options. Go to more shapes, and here you have different options. Click on basic shapes, and here you can see basic shapes. Most of them shapes you can use while working with maths, physics, or simple flowcharts. You can also use Visio extras in order to get these annotations, callouts, connectors, and different drawing tool shapes. And by simply clicking on insert button, you can also have all these options here. You can also use the charts from here. It will make it easy for you to spot patterns and trends in your data. So you can create different bar and line charts. You can also insert pictures. Similarly, on this ribbon, you can explore all of these tab options here, and you can see what else you can do using Visio. So that is completely up to you. So that's it for today. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have any queries, reach out to us in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon. I'll see you in the next video.